uh, that's yeah. Yesterday was kind of tough. Just so much going on and picking up very heavy things, a lot over the course of many hours. It's anyhow. That aside, it kind of got me to thinking, and it brought me back to a conversation that I had with a guy that I was working with maybe a week or two back, and kind of woke up this morning just kind of reliving that conversation in my head. And one of the things that really struck me about the conversation that we were having, it was mostly about like, hey, you know what? Um, Sometimes the universe feels like it's kicking down your door and just pushing you over and just starting kicking you in the teeth, and there's really not much you can do about it. Particularly when it comes to just a massive amount of work that gets thrown on you just all of a sudden, and there's really no rhyme or reason or explanation that you can extrapolate from what is going on to really kind of adequately explain why it is that just all of a sudden there is this gigantic shitstorm that, pardon my language, a gigantic shitstorm that is just encircling you and just throwing you this way and that. And what sort of universal reasoning could be behind something like that? And when I was in college, um, I actually painted a painting that's using just a simple word, entropy. And what I depicted in my painting was the city of Las Vegas just enveloped in this gigantic shitstorm. It was a lovely time. Studio time's always lovely, but it was a fun painting. But that aside, the entire um, the entire concept of just being enveloped in this gigantic shitstorm and trying to make sense of what is happening and why. Well, the way it was explained to me, and it's of course he was driving. I don't exactly know the passages he's referring to, um, but he was driving some sort of biblical origin of this is that when when certain people are shouldered with these just immense problems, just the series of burdens and stuff like that. Um, One way of explaining this is that either God or the universe or some other mechanism, whether it be as like a sentient sort of um, purposely driven apparatus by an omniscient, omnipresent thinking um, entity, or just an unconscious mechanism of nature itself, whatever the case may be. Individuals are saddled with these just immense things, and the way he explained it was this: is that when this happens, when these great burdens are put upon the shoulders of certain people, it is the way of God or nature or the universe or whatever concept you want to go with, to saddle this individual with these things so that other people around this person can see them going through this and hopefully see them succeed of overcoming it, so that they can understand that it is possible to do. Um, that's pretty heavy. not just the burdens itself, but just the entire concept of, okay, this person perhaps for whatever reason was selected to be given this burden and to bear it, so that other people around them can see, hey, it's possible. It's possible to get through this, to inspire them to then go forth and not give up is the important lesson. And that's tough for anybody. You know, when they see other people just go through all this crap, it's tough for them to then draw the lesson from that. Hey, it's possible to get through this. It's more like, oh my gosh, look at what's going on over there with that dude, and or that group of dudes, and just like freak out and say, oh no, oh no. But if you look at it from a different perspective, if you look at it from a different perspective through a different lens and say, okay, what is being trying to be taught here? What am I supposed to be observing here? What am I supposed to be digesting from taking all of this in? Well, that depends on the individual, of course, and certainly how they process stuff. And I guess that's a challenge to us all, is to, when we see things like this, is not to just have this knee-jerk reaction and just freak out and, I guess, post reaction shots on Twitter. Like, no, it should be like, okay, what am I observing here, and why, and what do I take away from this? Uh, well, hey, maybe there's a lesson or two to learn here, and that was the gist of the conversation that we had, because it was. The day itself was not particularly rough, but I'd worked with this guy before, and we had worked through some pretty rough days, and so we were just having a conversation about this, just a compare and contrast of what we were dealing with in the moment as opposed to what we were dealing with before, and months prior. So it all just came together, and it just struck me that it's one of the many more reasons that when I look back on some of the experiences that I've been through, and there have been many, where it's like, oh shit, I've just been saddled with all of this stuff all at once, and my head is just spinning because I have no frame of reference as to how to deal with this, and it's just being thrust at me just all at once. It's like, wow. And then I have to proceed to find a way to get through it. One, yeah, it teaches me how to get through that sort of thing and be better prepared. Two, for other such extreme, just kind of stuff. And three, it serves as an example for others that are observing what's happening to me, and then saying, hey, well, you may be you may be visited by something very much like this in either a near future or sometime in the future, or you may know somebody that's going to go through this kind of stuff, and you have this example of this guy that you watched go through this shit. He's gotten through it. It can be done. This is how he did it. Maybe we can adapt some of what happened in his circumstance, in his situation, in his scenario, to what's going on over here, and perhaps maybe get through it a little smoother than we would otherwise. And I suppose that's the thinking, is learning from others' mistakes. And given that we have a lot of others to observe, there are plenty of mistakes that we can observe and then digest and then apply some sort of game plan, whatever that may be. That's that's essentially what we're working with, and we it is up to us what we do when that kind of stuff arises, and certainly it's up to us to face the challenge of not just being the observer, but when it comes our time to be the observed, applying what we know. And it's not a one size fits all. Certainly, there are going to be many there are going to be many mistranslations. There's going to be many what is the currency term, where you take one currency from one country and the exchange rate. There's going to be differences in exchange rates, and so on and so on and so forth. But it's a useful tool nonetheless. And well, I guess that's really kind of the gist of what I wanted to talk about, is that. And there's no shortage of just messed up things to observe. And well, it's kind of up to us to do something with it when our time comes. And none of us know when those times are coming. They just kind of materialize out of nowhere, and and depending on how prepared we are either going to be screwed or not screwed as badly, or not screwed in the same way as we would otherwise be. So, well, that's about all I have to say about that. And it's the thing that I kind of just woke up with. And take it for how you will. Anyhow, y'all take care. Have a great day. So I'm getting hungry. I need some food. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know what you guys are going to do. It's up to you. It's always up to you. It's always up to you.